I like to point out that even in the Soviet Union, they did their best to avoid arresting opinion influencers. And at the time, an opinion influencer was either a journalist, a famous book author, a radio host, a university professor, anyone that had like a large audience and they were disseminating ideas. It doesn't mean that they would never arrest them, obviously, but like they at least tried their best to avoid doing it. Because even in the Soviet Union, it kind of looked bad. You know, it kind of made the government feel scared. And they tried avoiding that. They had other means, you know, like trying to get them fired, ruin their life, destroy their reputation. If worst came to worst, what they did was like put them in the mental institute. Like it's called punitive psychiatry. You guys should look it up. It's very interesting. But like, yeah, you know, if you had like a university professor that had too much to think, they would simply like take him, put him in a mental institute, and all of a sudden he can't get out. Right? He's not allowed to have a lawyer because it's not a legal issue. It's a psychological issue. Like the man is a danger to himself and others. And if you read his books, you should be careful because you can get crazy too. So that's how they did it. It seems that Britain is not like that. Like Britain is actually more superior, and they don't shy away from arresting even influential people like Graham Linehan over his views on transgender individuals. So as you can see, Father Ted co-creator Graham Linehan has been arrested at the airport on suspicion of inciting violence in relation to his post on X. I gotta say, you know, like traveling to Britain is kind of dangerous. Like a lot of people still think that you're traveling to a free democratic country. If your mindset isn't set that you're traveling to the Soviet Union or you're traveling to North Korea at the very least, you're in the wrong mindset. You're not as cautious as you're supposed to be. Like, seriously, if you must go to the UK, reconsider. But, like, if you're literally obligated, then travel very light. You know, don't bring your smartphone. Was it like Callum, the guy that had he's a YouTuber, right? Like, he works for the Lotus Eaters, like, was traveling around a lot. And he went to Russia in one of his travels, and when he got back into the UK, like, they confiscated his phone and stuff. You know, like, consider not having a smartphone, I guess. Again, like, act like you're going to North Korea. You'll be much safer. He was arrested by 5 officers, apparently, and said in an online Substack article that officials then became concerned for his health after taking his blood pressure and took him to the hospital. My goodness, when I talked about the Soviets taking people to the mental hospital, I said this before reading the article. Holy shit. The Metropolitan Police said that the man in his 50s was arrested at the airport and is neither life-threatening nor life-changing. And he was bailed pending further investigation. Linehan said in an online article on Substack that his bail condition stipulates that he is in a not to go on Twitter, and that his arrest related to 3 posts on X. So, this is also interesting. Twitter actually banned his account. So now, just so you can understand, right? Like, this is what Sargon is supporting. He's a big fan of Ofcom and a big fan of the Australian law, right? I understand that he grew up intellectually. All right, so now I live in the adults world where the police can simply arrest you at an airport and then your Twitter account is gone. That's really forward-thinking from a philosophical point of view. What can I say? You know, this is what I've been missing. Anyway, right. So, the police can now arrest you for tweets, and the government can demand that your social media posts get banned. Now, here's the interesting part. Social media posts, as far as I know, they get banned for life. Like, you can't get them back, right? And this guy is a public figure. Like, he actually needs his social media post to work. What happens if he clears his name? Do they allow him to get the social media account back? What happened if he gets convicted to pay a fine or whatever, and he does pay it? Does he get his social media account back? Again, the grown-ups are talking now, right? Like, this is politics for the adults that goes beyond my understanding. This is normal. The arrest prompted a furious backlash from figures including J.K. Rowling. Linehan shared screenshots of the post. He said he was arrested on Substack, the subscription-based online platform. The first post from XFeed says, if a trans-identified male is in a female-only space, He is committing violent abusive act. Make a scene, call the cops, and if all else fails, punch him in the balls. Now, again, in 2014, this would have been classified as being edgy and humorous. 2025, it's an arrestable offense. But I want to point out that there are so many trans people that, you know, last year and 2 years ago, were having also extremist rhetoric about people that they consider cis, right? They would say stuff like what J.K. Rowling is doing is trans genocide and hyping people up and all of that. You know, and they even have like shirts where it's basically like trans rights and they show an assault rifle. I haven't heard a single person like that getting arrested. Is this what people say in Britain, like two-tier cure? Like there's like 2 tiers of legislation, kind of like in a medieval society where like the nobility has one set of rules, like they're allowed to do these things, while the peasantry, if they do these things, they get in trouble? Because seriously, right? Like, has there ever been, this is interesting, like has there ever been a person of color or a trans person ever arrested for hate speech? Why not? Is it isn't it a statistical impossibility? Like when you have like tens of thousands of people, like you'd expect at least one. I'm genuinely curious, like has there ever been? Because if there hasn't, then the question isn't like whether he broke the law or not. The question is like, why is the law being selectively enforced? His second post from X appeared to be an aerial shot of a group of protesters in a town center, saying a photo you can smell. Okay, now while the first photo, which obviously is a joke, right? But like, let's assume that you can interpret it as incitement to violence, which I'm pretty sure like a British a British judge is going to interpret. But like the second post, like where is the violence there? It's insulting. Okay, and like if someone says, oh, it's an anime convention, imagine the smell. Is that a criminal offense? Can people be assholes in 2025, or is it against the law? Apparently, like, if you have a society where you need the law to enforce people to be polite, is it actually a polite society? Downing Street declined to comment on his arrest, but said that Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer and Home Secretary had been clear about their priorities for crime and policing. When asked about the arrest, the official spokespeople said that's an operational matter for the police. But the Prime Minister and Home Secretary have been clear about where their priorities for crime and policing are, and that's tackling antisocial behavior, shoplifting, street crime, as well as reducing violent criminal like knife crime and violence against women. So like, look how they're bundling crimes together, right? In order that if you do some petty shit like posting on Twitter, it's literally the same as knife crime against women. Like in the British psyche, right? Like they don't have context and nuance anymore. Like for them, like tiny things and big things are the same. And so if you're a police officer and you have like this package, right? And you're just tackling people that are shitposting on Twitter, well, you can say that for the last year you've been tackling serious crime involving knife crime, shoplifting, violence against women, and shitposting. Right? Because it's a bundle. So, like, you can go for the little things in order to make your resume look good. And then you wonder why they have crime on the streets. Why would a police officer even bother with the streets, right? Like, isn't he rewarded by going to some chucklehead and just yank him up because, like, he posted some edgy shit on Twitter? Like, no wonder, right? Like, if the incentive, seriously, like, you're a police officer, right? At the end of the year, you're being rewarded for convictions. It doesn't matter, right? Like, who you arrested and what you convicted them. No, like, did you manage to get a conviction or not? Why would you ever, like, risk going out and dealing with gangs and people that do stabbings and ending up on the BBC when you could literally just, like, cherry pick easy cases where people post some edgy shit on social media? Those are the freebies. And it looks like you're arresting criminals, right? And theoretically you are, because the law does say that, okay, well, due to the Malicious Communications Act of 1988. By the way, when does Sargon come in favor of the Malicious Communication Act of 1988? Like, if he absolutely enjoys Ofcom and all this shit, you know? I'm just wondering. I'm going to bust his balls until he addresses me. I want to know how is it like to make politics like the big boys, right? Because apparently this is like what the big men are supporting, right? He matured in politics, I've been told by some of his subscribers. So I don't want to remain a child. I too want to mature. But in order to mature, I need to understand. I need to learn. So hopefully he can teach me, like, why is this a good idea? And why was the Malicious Communications Act a bad thing, but the Ofcom is a good thing? I have questions. What can I do? You know, I don't operate on belief. I need to be explained. Sat down and educated. I'm willing to re-educate myself, basically. Anyway, right, you guys. I went on a rant, on a tangent. I'm sorry. There's a video in the middle. The YouTube algorithm has selected this for you. For you, right? Like if you click on that video, you're going to listen to another rant. Hopefully the YouTube algorithm knew what to select. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Take care.